ever noticed how often our minds are elsewhere, replaying the past, worrying about the future, rarely fully inhabiting the present moment? We chase after what was or what might be, often missing the profound power and richness that resides right here, right now. The greatest philosophers, from ancient Stoics to Eastern sages, have whispered a timeless secret. True power, true understanding, lies in the art of unwavering presence. While our modern world relentlessly pulls us towards distraction and anticipation, the ability to be fully present is not a passive state but an active and potent choice. It's a skill so fundamental, yet so often overlooked, that mastering it can unlock a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us. Have you ever stopped to truly savor a simple experience, without your mind immediately drifting to the next task or a past regret? Presence, in this context, is not merely existing in the same space as an event, but a conscious and deliberate engagement with the current moment. It's like a still pond reflecting the sky perfectly, undistorted by the ripples of thought or the winds of worry. The great thinkers understood that true insight and true power often arise not from frantic striving, but from a quiet, focused awareness of what is. Think about that time you were truly absorbed in an activity, lost in the flow, and how that experience felt profoundly meaningful and energizing. Absence of mind, on the other hand, often leads to missed opportunities, shallow experiences, and a diminished sense of vitality. Noise, in this context, is the constant chatter of our thoughts, preventing us from truly hearing the subtle symphony of the present. Silence, in this new light, becomes the stillness that allows us to perceive this symphony with clarity. True mastery lies in the ability to quiet the internal noise and fully inhabit the now. But make no mistake, presence is not about ignoring the past or the future. It's about understanding that the only point where we can actually act, where we can truly experience, is in this very moment. The strength of presence manifests in the ability to fully engage with what is happening, without judgment, without the need to escape or alter it. It allows us to respond to life with wisdom and clarity, rather than reacting from ingrained patterns or anxieties. And how can you cultivate this wisdom in your daily life? How about starting by dedicating moments to, instead of juggling multiple thoughts and activities, bring your full attention to the one thing you are doing. Feel the texture of the object in your hand. Listen intently to the person speaking. Truly taste the food you are eating. What would be the impact of dedicating just 5 minutes to such focused attention with each task? Try it for a week and see the changes in your sense of engagement and appreciation. Also, when you find your mind wandering, gently guide it back to the present moment, like a shepherd guiding a stray sheep. Don't judge the wandering, simply redirect your focus. Presence, when cultivated, is like an anchor that grounds us amidst the storms of life, and a lens that sharpens our perception of beauty and meaning. After all, as the Zen saying goes, the tea is only the tea when you are only drinking the tea. It is a constant practice to refine your awareness, understand the power of now, and apply this wisdom in every aspect of your life. Presence is not just the absence of distraction, but the presence of a profound connection with reality, a strategy that allows you to truly live. Now, let's think a little about the power of attention. It's not just about seeing what's in front of us, but about truly noticing, deeply absorbing the subtle details that often hold the key to understanding. The one who pays attention patiently gains insights that go far beyond superficial observation. Imagine a botanist walking through a forest, not just seeing trees, but recognizing the unique characteristics of each species, the subtle signs of growth and decay, the intricate relationships within the ecosystem. They don't just look, they perceive the interconnectedness of life. Being a patient observer of the present moment is like entering a vast and intricate tapestry and having the focus to appreciate each individual thread, understanding how it contributes to the overall design. This allows you to understand the underlying dynamics of any situation, identifying opportunities for growth and understanding that would be missed by a scattered mind. The psychology behind attention is profound. It teaches us to move beyond our internal narratives and truly engage with the external world. It's the ability to quiet the inner dialogue and fully receive the information the present moment offers. The one who attends learns to read the subtle cues of reality, not just the obvious ones. They perceive the unspoken emotions in a room, the subtle shifts in energy, the underlying currents of a conversation. They notice what is said and what is left unsaid, and with that, they gain a deeper understanding of the situation. And how can this be a tool of power? Well, the power of understanding is immense. The one who truly attends accumulates wisdom, and wisdom is power. By perceiving the nuances of the present moment, the subtle shifts in ourselves and others, the unfolding patterns of reality, you position yourself as a more conscious and effective participant in life. Being a patient observer of the now doesn't mean being passive, but being fully prepared to respond with wisdom and clarity. It's like a musician listening intently to each note, each silence, understanding the rhythm and harmony before contributing their own part. It's not about reacting impulsively, but about acting with full awareness and discernment. And how can you cultivate the ability to be a patient observer of the present? First, practice mindfulness in your daily activity. When washing dishes, feel the warmth of the water, the texture of the soap, the movement of your hands. When walking, feel the ground beneath your feet, the air on your skin, the sounds around you. Instead of rushing through life, savor each moment. When you're in conversation, put away distractions and give the other person your undivided attention, truly listening not just to the words, but to the underlying emotions and intentions. How about, for example, during one meal each day, trying to eat in complete silence, focusing solely on the taste, texture, and smell of the food. This can be a powerful exercise in cultivating presence. Also, set aside time for quiet contemplation, simply observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. As the poet Mary Oliver asked, "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" The patient observer of the present understands that true living happens now, and that by cultivating this ability, they become the master of their own experience, transforming the often unnoticed moments into sources of wonder, learning, and profound connection. It's a path of self-discovery that allows us to navigate the world with clarity, wisdom, and a quiet power that emanates from attentive presence and a deep appreciation for the unfolding now. Now, let's unravel the mechanisms by which presence and attention transform into a sense of empowerment. It's a subtle process, often internal, but with undeniable impact. Like a tree, deeply rooted in the earth, weathering storms with unwavering stability, the present observer uses their focused awareness to navigate challenges and cultivate inner strength. Think about how fully engaging with a difficult emotion, rather than trying to suppress or avoid it, can actually diminish its power over you. By being present with discomfort, we can understand its roots and begin to release its grip. Presence, in this case, becomes a form of courageous engagement, a way of asserting your inner authority over your own experience. Presence also allows you to cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude and appreciation for the simple joys of life. When we are fully present, we notice the beauty in a sunrise, the warmth of a connection, the simple pleasure of a shared meal. This heightened appreciation fuels a sense of well-being and inner strength. It's like a gardener who tends to each plant with care, noticing its unique beauty and nurturing its growth, experiencing a deep sense of fulfillment in the process. The power of acceptance is another essential mechanism for empowerment through presence. The one who is truly present learns to accept what is, without resistance or the need for things to be different. This acceptance doesn't mean resignation, but a clear-eyed understanding of reality, which allows for more effective and skillful action. It's like a sailor who understands the currents and the winds, working with them rather than fighting against them, navigating the sea with greater ease and effectiveness. And how can you apply these mechanisms in your daily life? First, learn to fully inhabit your body. Notice the sensations, the feeling of your feet on the ground, the rise and fall of your breath, the subtle tensions or relaxations in your muscles. This grounding in physical sensation brings you more fully into the present moment. How about, for example, taking a few moments each day to simply focus on the sensations in your hands or feet? This can be a powerful way to anchor yourself in the now. In addition, practice non-judgmental observation of your thoughts and emotions. When difficult feelings arise, acknowledge them without getting carried away by the story they tell. Simply observe them as passing phenomena. This creates space for a more skillful response. Also, cultivate gratitude for the present moment. Take time each day to appreciate the simple things. The warmth of the sun. This shifts your focus from what is lacking to the richness of what is. The mechanisms of empowerment are revealed in the ability to fully engage with your experience, accept what is, and appreciate the richness of the present moment. It's the dance between awareness and acceptance, engagement and non-resistance, that allows us to transform each moment into an opportunity for growth and inner strength. It's a way of mastering our inner landscape and understanding the inherent power of the now. Let us explore one of the most profound and often elusive aspects of presence: The strategy of stillness. It may sound counterintuitive in a world that values constant activity, but creating inner spaces of stillness is a refined technique for accessing deeper wisdom and power. Think about those moments when you are completely still, both physically and mentally, and how a deeper sense of clarity and insight can arise. It's like a perfectly calm lake reflecting the surrounding landscape with pristine clarity. Control through stillness manifests in the ability to pause, to refrain from the constant urge to do or think, to simply be. Stillness, in this context, is not inertia, but a potent form of receptivity. It is the ability to step back from the relentless demands of the external world and connect with a deeper, more intuitive level of awareness. The power of non-doing is another essential aspect of the strategy of stillness. It is not about being unproductive, but about acting from a place of deep listening and inner alignment. It is the ability to refrain from impulsive action, to allow things to unfold naturally, like a seed patiently waiting for the right conditions to sprout. The power of inner silence is a way of using stillness to access a deeper level of understanding and insight. When the internal chatter quiets down, a more profound wisdom can emerge. It's like tuning out the static on a radio to hear a clear signal. And how can you apply the strategy of stillness in your life? First, learn to create moments of silence in your day. This doesn't have to be formal meditation, although that can be beneficial. It can simply be a few minutes of sitting quietly, without any distractions, just allowing yourself to be present with your breath. How about starting by dedicating just 5 minutes each day to silent sitting? Notice what arises without judgment. In addition, practice mindful walking. Instead of rushing from one place to another, slow down your pace and pay attention to the sensations of walking. This can transform a mundane activity into an exercise in stillness, in motion. Also, learn to observe your thoughts without engaging with them. When thoughts arise, simply acknowledge them and let them pass, like clouds drifting by. The strategy of stillness is a path that invites us to step away from the frantic pace of modern life, to distance ourselves from the noise of the mind, and to reconnect with our own inner sanctuary. It's an invitation to cultivate silence, inner listening, and a deep sense of being, transforming the urge to constantly do into the power of simply being present. It's the dance of action and inaction, of sound and silence within ourselves, that allows us to master the nuances of life and access a deeper form of power, subtle and profound. It's, in the end, understanding that sometimes the most powerful action is non-action, and the deepest wisdom arises from stillness. And we have reached the heart of our exploration, the mastery of presence, mastering attention, the art of engagement, the power of acceptance, and the strategy of stillness is what takes us to a level of empowerment that goes beyond external control. It's the cultivation of an inner authority that emanates from wisdom, self-awareness, and a deep connection with the unfolding now. Mastering attention is not just about focusing on what's in front of us, but about cultivating a sustained and unwavering awareness of our inner and outer landscapes. It's the ability to truly see, truly hear, truly feel the richness of each moment. The art of engagement is revealed in our capacity to fully participate in life without resistance, to immerse ourselves in experiences with open hearts and minds. It is the ability to savor the simple joys and to courageously face the inevitable challenges with our full being. The power of acceptance manifests in our ability to meet reality as it is, without the constant need for it to be different. It's the inner peace that comes from aligning ourselves with the flow of life, rather than constantly struggling against it. And how can we achieve this mastery of presence? First, practice self-compassion. Be kind and gentle with yourself, recognizing that the mind will wander and that presence is a practice, not a perfect state. How about, for example, noticing when your mind has drifted and gently guiding it back to the present without judgment? Also, cultivate sensory awareness. Regularly engage all your senses, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, to fully immerse yourself in your current experience. Try, for example, taking a few moments to mindfully appreciate the taste of your next meal. Finally, learn to find joy in the ordinary. Notice the beauty in the mundane, the wonder in the everyday. Presence allows us to discover the extraordinary within the ordinary. As the philosopher Lao Tzu said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. The mastery of presence is a continuous journey, a relentless cultivation of awareness and acceptance. It is a path that leads us to a level of power that doesn't dominate, but empowers through wisdom, compassion, and a deep appreciation for the gift of the present moment. It is the culmination of attention, engagement, acceptance, and stillness, which allows us to master the art of living and become truly present in our own lives. Thank you for journeying this far. If this exploration resonated with you, please leave a like and share it with someone who might benefit from this perspective. Subscribe for more philosophical insights, and stay tuned for our next exploration into the mysteries of existence. Remember, the power you seek resides within the present moment. Peace and presence on your path. See you soon.